Filthy Rich.
Yeah, it's your boy DJ Big X.
We
What's
got
good, Buddi3
Shilee
Da
to
Gawd?
the period.
What up, man? Welcome back to the We Outside show. We are live and direct. We got a new format for y'all. So we back outside, man. We back outside. We ready to kick it back up with a new season. We got a lot of new topics to talk about. We still going to bring in some special guests to help us talk about these things. There's a lot going on there, a lot of things that we missed while we was getting ready for this new season. It was chairs flying around. It was niggas swimming in the water. It's all kind of craziness, man. So we're going to get to it, man. We've been outside, so we got to talk about what's going on. What's up with y'all?
Hey, man. A lot going on, man. Hey, the chair is the new weapon this year. You know what I'm saying? We definitely are locked in with the chair, not the gun. We locked in with the chair. We going over the head like a red, like Ric Flair to the dome.
Now, I just showed you how creative black people are on the internet too, man. We run the internet, bro.
Man.
I see the
shout out to Aquaman.
Oh yeah, hey, Aquaman don't get no credit. Aquaman swam across the ocean.
Aquaman.
Yeah, shout out to Aquaman. First to swim to a fight.
Oh yeah. But seriously, once he got to the fight, he was out of breath.
Listen, if he wasn't, I was going to think he was an alien or something. Ain't no way.
Oh yeah.
Hey, but hey, at least you know we saw that moment of coming together. Man, you know, started August off right. Now you know, see how we're gonna end off August. Definitely still celebrating 50 years of hip hop. Definitely gonna be talking about that probably for the rest of the year, man. Celebration.
I hope so. I hope so.
Man, but
so do the celebration of hip hop go away next year after in the year 51? Do we stop celebrating hip hop?
I think we always celebrate hip hop anyway.
Always.
Y'all been any good show? I've been going to a lot of concerts, man.
Man, come on, X. Where was you at last night, man? Let the people know, man.
Nah, it wasn't a hip hop concert, but I did cop me a Earth, Wind and Fire t-shirt. I did go see the Living Icons. You know what I'm saying? It was a great show. I went on the bullshit, to be honest. I went expecting not to enjoy the show, but after I got to the show, you know, as a kid, they was playing all the songs. It was like the soundtrack to your life. So then you look around the room, you see all these people from different generations. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Age groups and the whole nine. And you look at the power of music. And that's what I was telling y'all this morning in the text. It's funny how music can bring all races together in harmony, though. You know what I'm saying? And everybody in that room just peaceful. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, definitely.
Man, I think I just saw Ice-T just posted about all the OGs. Speaking of icons, you know, the OGs are really the ones selling out the stadiums, selling out their arenas, still making a bag off of touring, and it seemed like the new ones kind of struggling with that.
They ain't got no songs.
Very interesting.
They ain't got no, and they don't make you feel shit. So what the fuck? What we going there for? They throwing shit at artists. They going there to throw shit at the artists or throw shit on stage.
That's what was amazing about the show, though. For real, to be honest, was to see all the people in there that was like they really came, like the age group of people. They really sold out an arena, like 18,000 people in a sellout arena full of people listening to records that people would say not even relevant right now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man.
I'm gonna tell you whose show was crazy that I went to last week. I went to the 50 Cent Final Lap tour. And I'm a big 50 fan anyway, but I realized how many bangers. Man, listen, first of all, Busta Rhymes went before him, and it's hard to go after Busta because to me, he's like the best on stage ever.
Wait, he got Busta opening?
Yeah, Jeremiah went first, then Busta went. Busta brought out Killer Mike. They did Never Scared. That went crazy. He brought out Goody Mob, crazy. Busta did his thing. And I'm like, oh, man, okay. 50 comes out, and he let off like, no lie, it felt like a 300-round clip of hits, man. 50.
Get Rich or Die Trying. That nigga got classics. That nigga got classic. I seen the little clip
before that.
Yeah, I see the little clip where he told Busta Rhymes, nigga, you ain't got no real friends. That chain too big. You went in on the nigga. He funny too.
Yeah, he hilarious. But that show, I recommend anybody out there, if y'all can catch that show in y'all city, man. That's your
man. Legend still doing it. But again, we're gonna get into a little intro, man. As you already see, we outside trying something different, a new season. But same beast, man. Keep it tuned.
Remix. Yeah, man. So you see, we back. We outside. We have a new cast member. Shilee, go ahead.
Yeah, y'all got to add me in. What's the word?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let them know.
What's the word,
introduce yourself
man?
to the world.
Okay, I'm the newest host. I'm the newest host, right? Giving a female's perspective on this show. Yeah. I'm an artist, so
what do you
I'm
do?
also giving a different perspective as well. So I'm just, I'm in here giving my little 2 cents.
Yeah, we had to soften it up, man. It was too many niggas on the show.
Yeah. Hey, Phil,
hey, definitely.
You didn't even peep how Buddy's side view, huh? You ain't peeped the view, huh?
I did.
I got the camera set up.
His lineup is good. So y'all gonna see my beard lineup.
A little bit.
All right.
Gotta switch it up, man. Everybody got that straight on view, but we here doing it a little different again.
Like this,
switching it up.
The whole show just like this.
Yeah.
So let's introduce Buddy, man. Buddy's our producer. He's usually behind the camera. So Buddy, introduce yourself to.
Yes. Yeah, man, what's good? A few people have seen me in previous lives, but yeah, definitely the producer, kind of the man behind the cam, putting everything together, making sure everything flows. But yeah, get in front of the camera a little bit, just making sure it flows here live on air. So yeah, definitely, tap in. Life is God, and the whole coalition family, everybody. What's up?
Because Filthy said he don't like going live, so I know this is gonna be definitely an experience.
Hey, we're gonna.
Yeah, shit, me too. Shit, I gotta be careful what the fuck I say.
I already committed, so fuck it.
Hey, we here tapping in with the people.
Bitch might need a feature from one of these artists. I'm like, let me be quiet.
hey. We actually we'll have a guest coming in a little bit. So, but before then, we did have some topics we wanted to get into. This is one thing that we trying with the live is diving into again current topics and kind of stirring up the conversation beyond just interviewing artists, trying to engage with the people out there. So since some people type in, man, what's up with y'all? Definitely hit the chat. We can respond to you live as well. That's another thing that's different with this experience. So again, we outside and kind of starting with something that's near and dear to our hearts as DJs. Again, the conversation about what's going on with the DJs. I don't know if any of y'all have seen this latest post, but I'm gonna go ahead and play it real quick.
You're giving people 18 years worth of music industry experience. My executive coach, that's what she was been working on, teaching me, like, because I would give it away, I didn't think it had value. So because I would give you the game, I just didn't think, like, why would I charge you? And I give it to you. She was like,
consultation.
You're giving people something. You're giving people 18 years worth of music industry experience. My executive.
Okay. So, Buddy.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So just kind of again bringing in about artist development. I don't even know if that was the right clip, to be honest.
Yeah, that nigga.
But
they definitely.
That wasn't it.
But yeah, again, knowing your worth, artist development, those types of things. Let me see if I can find the right clip.
Let me see if I can help you.
Yeah, that felt like I was watching the news and they was talking about something else, and then they showed something completely different from what they was talking.
Yeah,
man. Here we go. This is where we're going with it.
This is why live whack.
Ecosystem that the DJs don't necessarily have to be a part of. I have been to numerous nights. I probably only heard the Uzi I Just Want to Rock record. That's probably the only Uzi record I've ever heard in the club. And Uzi can sell out an arena right now. Honeybag Yo needed DJs because the type of music he makes. But Lil Yachty don't need flex. Playboy Cardi don't need none of them. He literally is selling out right now and don't have a record on the radio. NBA Youngboy could give a fuck with Flex, Clue, and don't think about him. The artists all now created their ecosystem. The ecosystem that the J's don't necessarily have to be a part of. I have been to club numerous nights. I probably only heard the Uzi I Just Want to Rock record. That's probably the only Uzi record I've ever heard in the club. And Uzi can sell out an arena right now. Artists like Moneybagg Yo needed DJs because the type of music he makes. But Lil Yachty don't need Flex. Playboy Carti don't need none of them. He literally is selling out arenas right now and don't have a record on the radio. NBA Youngboy could give a fuck with Flex, Clue, or any of them think about.
Yeah, I want to know what y'all take on that because I seen that and I was like, well, shit, y'all being y'all frontline. So let us know, is that accurate? Shit, do we need DJs? Does every artist need a DJ? When do you feel like that comes into play, or do you feel like he was way off with that?
I'll let Filthy start the conversation.
I think there's the way this narrative that people don't need DJs really getting the shit out of me for real, because I feel like, okay, the way he's saying it is certain artists don't need DJs. It all depends on what type of music that you make. So if you're making club records, obviously you need the club. But the artist that he named, Lil Uzi Vert, right? When Lil Uzi Vert first came out, he had a big club record. That's the only reason anybody even knew about him, because we was playing him in the club, and then it got him to the radio. He's also signed to a DJ drummer. So you need the DJs. NBA Youngboy, when he first came out, he had a big song, Top Down with Fredo Bang. I still play in the club. That goes crazy in the club. The club is what got him popping, got him known. And then Yachty, come on, man. Niggas play Yachty in the club all the time. So I just don't like the narrative that you don't need the DJs. Now, if you're an artist like making boom bap like Griselda doesn't need the club. You know what I mean? Because they don't make club music. So it depends on what type of artist you are. But I don't like the broad stroke that, oh, niggas don't need the DJs, because I see a lot of people jumping on that. Like, when did it become cool, especially on the 50th anniversary of hip hop, for niggas to just start saying the DJs ain't shit? That's crazy to me, because, again, I never seen Spotify rock a club. I never seen Tidal rock an arena. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen Apple Music pop up on me and give me an underground record that I never heard before. You know what I mean? I've never seen none of these streaming services. I've never seen TikTok host an event and book a party for an underground artist and invite all the influencers that he knows to get him heard and lock down his market. So I don't want to hear none of that shit, man. Everybody needs the DJs. I don't like this narrative that, they don't need the DJs. And I don't know who these DJs is that, I don't know if they fucked your girl, slapped your mama or something, but yes, this hating on the DJs, this broad stroke, like the DJs ain't shit. I don't like that narrative. We need to pull it. I know a nigga like me. I know the coalition. I know niggas, DJs that I fuck with that's not even with the coalition are tremendous DJs, have helped artists. Like, look at a nigga like DJ Funky, bro. DJ Funky has done so much for artists and ain't asked for nothing in return but probably a drink. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to understand what it takes to be a DJ too. There was another dude, I won't mention his name because I refuse to blow this nigga up. He said some clown shit on Instagram the other day, last week, and he was basically saying, like, it ain't nothing to be a DJ, and we always crying and we always whining how we don't get a tip or some shit. Like, yo, bro, niggas don't even really care about no tip. It's just about receiving a money issue. It's just, again, the narrative is we don't need the DJs. I don't hear nobody saying we don't need the views. I don't hear nobody saying we don't need the promoters. I don't hear nobody saying we don't need the artists. I say it now, nigga, we don't need no more artists. There's too many of y'all niggas anyway. We need the DJs.
Hold on, nigga.
I need
Slow
less
down.
artists. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Hey, the game is saturated. The game is definitely saturated.
Everything is saturated because they flooded the gates. There's no real gatekeeping on certain shit. So at the end of the day, we can't shoot down certain shit because everybody plays a part. I do feel when I seen the clip, when Ray Daniels was talking, I felt like I know where he was going with it. He may not have explained it the best way, but I know exactly what he was saying. He was basically saying, if you're going for this type of demographic, I could see why you wouldn't need the DJs. Like me coming from New Mexico, this is not the biggest topics that obviously people are talking about. So it's like people need to know this type of information coming into the game, when something is valuable to you and when something isn't. So I think that's important because, like I said, there's certain things that this shit is a free fall shit.
Yeah. As an artist, where do you see DJs playing in your career?
I feel like for the club records, for sure. Like if you in the club, like you need shit that's gonna get like, you know what I'm saying? Everything is about the vibe, the energy. So for sure, I think DJs there's a time and a place, but I feel like for everything. But I feel like if you're an artist that you want like a money bag, yo, who his sound is specific to he needs niggas to play his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I see what he's trying to say and how like Lil Uzi Vert, that nigga's like a rock star. That nigga on some other shit. So he not going to certain clubs and certain places that Moneybagg Yo still might make appearances at. So I see what he's saying. So I don't feel like I could see how he could, you know what I'm saying, making people feel some type of way. But as an objective view, I feel like I know where he was going with it. So I don't think he meant disrespect by it. But that's just my take on it.
Big X, what say you?
I just think it's always kind of easy to kind of blame the DJ. Everybody always feel it's easy to blame the DJ or you don't need the DJ. But if you look at it from a scope of like for real, most of the artists that we're talking about had some type of success prior to having the success that they have streaming wise now. So they have the comfort to be able to say, I don't need the DJ or the focus of my project. I don't have to focus on the DJs because I've already had a great success with the DJs prior to. Playboy Cardi, let's take him. He had Mahogany. That was a big record in the club with the DJs, where the DJs really supported him when his career first started. Go back to Uzi Vert. I forget the record he had. Y'all may remember the record.
Tour Life.
That was a big record that was in the club. And like you said, he signed to a DJ. When you talk about NBA Youngboy, he had those records. So their careers shifted to a point to where they really built the audience of monthly listeners online, to where like even when we telling these artists now, you got to build a real fan base. You get what I'm saying? They have a real fan base of people that's going to come back and listen to them on a monthly basis. You get what I'm saying? To where a lot of these artists that's coming out that's new, they don't understand that. All they understand, and that's being taught to them, is get your record streaming. They're not understanding to get these people to come back and listen to their records. But a DJ is always needed, because every one of those artists that he mentioned had major success through the whole DJ network, whether it be Coalition, whether it was whatever organization it may have been, or what other DJ it might have been. They all had a big record through the network of DJs throughout the country. Like even now, when you talk about Uzi Vert, he has a record, the rock record.
I Just Want to Rock.
I Just Want to Rock record. DJs are playing that record, so he's getting DJ support.
The dance record.
So how can you say he don't need the DJ? That's a big record that's being played by all the DJs. So he getting major DJ support. Now, if DJs wasn't supporting that record wouldn't have, it just would have been a cool record. But I don't think it would have had the success it would have if he didn't have the DJ support.
I think that's a big part too, what you said too, that gap. He going straight to people who are already successful, that are already at a certain point. It's like Black people, when we come in, we have to do the Black platforms. We have to, we have to make the relationship with the DJs, because we are part of our demographic. So I feel like we all need to support each other. I just think he poorly executed how he said that.
Yeah, I just think when we push that narrative that we don't need the DJs, and we really know we need the DJs are really the cornerstone of this shit. Hip hop started from the DJs. So for us to get here 50 years later and say we don't need the DJs, I just think that shit is a cop out on just bad music right now. You know what I'm saying? I just think the level of music right now isn't to the level of innovative. There's nothing innovative and creative about it.
Well, I want to pivot right there. Let's kind of keep moving with the conversation, and get into that next thing, because there's a post from Ebro that's talking about the level of hip hop and the level of music that we're seeing, and how labels are kind of shying away from it in hip hop, at least. There's this post from Ebro. He says, "I got a call saying that it should be noted many major record labels have deprioritized signing rappers. The focus is now African music and Latin music. Rappers better stop being boring and talking about the same shit over and over, and chasing TikTok success in comment sections," says Ebro. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think as far as the level of music and labels going away from that?
I mean, I think the proof is in the pudding, man. The proof is in the pudding. Like, if, again, as a DJ, an active DJ who's really outside, the biggest reactions from records that I get, that I play, are not the newer records. It's the older records. I think the people I'm making right now is just not sticking. I think before we even got on, Shilee was saying the music doesn't have any soul. Like, it doesn't make you feel anything. If it does make you feel anything, it's mostly depressed or violent. You know what I mean? So it's like nobody wants to hear that shit. It's already hard. Life is already hard. You know what I'm saying? I love gangster music. I love gangster shit too, but there's got to be a balance. Niggas have rapped about everything that you could possibly rap about. Like you said, it's been out for 50 years. And it's only so many ways you could rap about selling pussy, busting your gun, and taking drugs. So, of course, when you hear some Afro beats or all these new genres of music that are making people happy and upbeat and want to dance and want to party, of course, that's going to kind of get in some light. You know what I mean? Because, again, like I said before, it is too many artists. It's too many rappers. It's too many rappers, bro. It's too many rappers. Like, after a while, you don't want to hear that shit no more. So
I got something to say. I feel like once artists understand that they are performers and not just putting this, you're this or that, you are a performer. Like, I don't know, that makes a difference to me. But I also feel like, shit, I want a Spanish record. I'm from New Mexico. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a feeling because there's still culture in it. What is in our culture right now? Like, what is rap culture? But other than the three main things that you said, in Spanish culture, they still follow a culture on a day-to-day basis, so you can still feel in that. Or African, you know what I'm saying? There's still their culture in it. That's why I say even in old music, there's soul in it because there's feeling in it. Like that's like I don't know, it's like comparing like the microwave meal and a full, you know, like a home cooked meal. Shit, niggas don't want to, you know what I'm saying? We tired.
But it ain't
no. I would say this.
Go ahead.
Well, I think it's production too. Because you're a producer, right? Think about the actual production of hip hop right now. A lot of the music is very, very. It's soulless. It's soulless. So it's
repetitively the same shit. You got the same drum sounds. Everybody got the same keyboard sounds. So everything you're hearing is the same shit. That's why I make this analogy all the time. I say shit sound like one big ass mixtape.
Yeah.
But is rap an actual talent? Would you say rap is a talent in 2023? In 2023, I'm not saying it isn't a talent, but in this, like right now, the climate.
Yes, it is. Yes, okay. It is definitely a talent. Because you got people that are exceptional at doing it. That's what anything that you do. You got people that are really exceptional at rap. Now you got everybody that's trying to rap, that want to be great at rap. But you got some people that really excel at being dope lyricists. I call them, man, I can't think of the word I call them. But they really good at putting words together and that kind of shit. Well, a lot of people, they just rapping, they just getting in here doing what they hear somebody else doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's levels to it. There's definitely levels to it.
The word I wanted to use was wordsmith.
I figured it was wordsmith. Yeah, real poets.
Rap artists took more pride in the craft itself instead of like trying to get a quick lick. I think we could rise back to the top. But until niggas stop looking at it as a hustle and start taking it as an art form again, then this is what you're gonna get, man.
Well, I guess does it go back to that now that news is coming out that there's not as many record deals in it, not as many opportunities in it? How do you think that impacts the game?
It's gonna go back underground. I mean, a lot of the music that you hear is gonna go back underground. So it's gonna force a lot of people to step their game up. You know what I mean? To really get signed and to really get to that level. I like the fact that they kind of making it harder to get signed because now a lot of the bullshit rap will go away and people really start going back in the studio being creative, opposed to just going in there doing what somebody else was doing. You get what I'm saying? So.
I would say this too. I think it's station full circle again because again, back to, niggas don't need the DJs or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But no one needs anybody but fans. You need a fan base. You need to create music for a target audience. You need to tap into that audience and make sure that audience is tapped back into you and supporting what you do and building your own community. You won't need a label or nothing. That's the only way I can say you don't need a DJ, but you still need a DJ to help. But you don't even need a record label if that's the case, if that's the conversation. If you're fire and you have a real fan base you're communicating with through your music, then you don't need anything. You don't need look at Russ. Russ
man, you read my mind. Or Lil Russell.
A core fan base. He know who he's speaking to through his music. He don't need shit. Just create your fan base. Create your music and create your fan base. You don't need anybody.
Or I was thinking of a La Russell, the way he's moving.
La Russell too. Listen, niggas is showing you how to do it. And then ladies can enhance that later. But build your foundation first.
There you go. So a word to the artist, man. But rock with the DJs. That's a part of the foundation.
Yeah. So we got Chuck T just chimed in too, man. Can we bring him in so he can give his opinion right quick? I know he's a few minutes late, but we can get him to chime in on the DJ situation. What up, Chuck?
Man, everything good? How y'all doing?
Hey,
what's good? Peace, God.
Man, I'm doing amazing, man. I really can't complain. God is good. This conversation is a conversation that actually needs to be had. And I feel like we have very, very few people who can really speak on it intelligently. The internet would have you to believe that you can do all these amazing things without having a network behind you. We see artists like La Russell. We see artists like Russ. All of these artists that we talk about, who really, really made it independent. I mean, we can go as far back as Tech-9, who have like their own quote unquote ecosystem. I'm not going to say they got lucky, but the cases are few and far between.
yeah.
You have easily thousands of artists who went about it the traditional way, rocking with the DJs, taking a single to the clubs, taking a single to the radio, doing promo tours, signing a deal, even if it's, a small deal. They don't have to really be super, super big with a big label and a big bag behind them. But that way has worked for thousands of artists. It's few and far between that these artists really are able to do it just off of the internet. I feel like artists like Tusi and La Russell were able to do it because we were genuinely in lockdown. Everybody was on their phones. There were no clubs. Everybody's attention was on social media. But how many have done it since or after them? Most of the artists we know who have created a ecosystem to where they don't need DJs or labels are people who have started off with the DJs and the labels. So I tell people, you need a way to create that ecosystem. You need a way to create it. The only way, or your best way, and the most reliable way to do it is by rocking with DJs, rocking with the radio, going to these music conferences, going to these meet and greets and these networking sessions, doing it through the showcases and, the indie cons and all of these different meet and greets and things like that. You're going to have to do it the traditional way. There's just not enough success stories of people who did it without the DJs for people to say, oh, you don't need the DJs. I mean, Ray Daniels brought up Lil Uzi Vert, who has 11 records in the Billboard Hot 100, in the top 10. He has 11 records. He wouldn't have been able to do it without DJ Drama's network and Don Cannon's network. He needed the DJs in order to create that. If you look at Big Crit, you look at Currency, you look at B.O.B., these are all artists who started off with big bags, started off trailblazing it through the showcases and the music conferences and the, award shows. And, they had these singles that they had to push through the DJs and through the radio. And now they're to the point they don't need it anymore. But, I feel like there's hundreds of thousands of independent artists who are trying to do it without DJs and radio, and they're unsuccessful. I mean, even a broken clock is right twice a day. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be a few that are able to do it just by building a network through, their family, their friends, their schools, their college. They don't really need a DJ. They're able to do it a totally different way. But there's not enough of those success stories, I feel like, for us to be pushing that. Even a lot of the backpack rappers, You know, and to be honest with you, the backpack rappers are the ones who, in my opinion, really rely on DJs. It's just a different subgenre of hip hop. But they're the ones who believe in having the DJs and believe in having a road DJ and believe in having a DJ who they bring with them everywhere and does their sets and hosts their mixtapes. You know, we just don't hear them in the traditional club settings. All right. So to us, you know, it may look like they may have skipped a few steps, but to be honest with you, when I go to those backpack showcases and stuff like that, you know, the rappers who have that old school boom bap feel, man, they're the ones who really lean on their DJs. They're just not on our particular radar.
Right. So do you think when you pushing that type of narrative that you heard, and I know Ray didn't mean, you know, he didn't mean it in a disrespectful manner, but do you think when you hear that type of like when you make those type of comments, do you think that make the artists feel like they could be lazy?
Not necessarily lazy, but it makes them feel like they don't need an intricate part of the hip hop community. They don't need an intricate part of the hip hop world that it takes to be successful. Let's just be honest. 90% of these artists are not going to make it without DJs. You know what I'm saying? And easily 70% of them, 75% of them aren't really going to make it anyway. But you just make the road so much harder. I mean, we saw this years ago whenever there was sort of a little friction between us and the artists whenever it came to blogs. Remember when everybody was like, yeah, nah, I don't need a DJ. I'm going to just pay these bloggers and I'm going to just pay, you know, these media outlets. And all that stuff is cool. It gets you the recognition and it gets you the eyes on you. But where the music at? You know what I'm saying? The music is the fuel. Where is the music? You can do a million interviews and you can have people genuinely rock with you because of your story. But how we going to hear that music? Where the music at? Where's the hit record at? Where do I start? Where's that record that's going to immediately grab my attention? Because we've seen it a million times. These artists may think, the artists and their camps and the label sometimes think that they got a hit record and it's not a hit record. And then the DJs that get a hold of it will find that hit record, then boom, the artist is out of here. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's all about you know, the algorithm. They have an algorithm in social media. There's an algorithm whenever it comes to breaking a record, unfortunately. There's just things you can't go around. There's things you can't do. There's things that are going to make the road easier and things that are going to make the road harder for you. And look, we going through it now with the playlist stuff. You know, people are like, oh, I'm not going to pay DJs. I'm not going to really network with the DJs. I'm not going to do the meet and greets and the listening sessions. I'm just going to find playlisters. You know, and I know a lot of people who have spent thousands of dollars on playlists and they are still local artists. You know what I'm saying? Because let's just be honest with you. You know, to get on Rap Caviar, to get on Rap Life on Apple Music, you got to have a label for you. You know, like stuff like that is almost impossible for an independent artist to do. It's almost impossible.
There's only a certain amount of slots. So we have to be realistic. How many songs can they put on that playlist? So Mr. Independent, I don't need the DJ. You're not even going to get on that playlist. But
exactly.
You can't get on. You can come to the club and we can spin it. And I feel like people are forgetting that the DJs, we the ones that give the record legs. Like, okay, you get on a playlist, that's cool. You get on a blog, that's a one-time thing. As
exactly.
a DJ, we can continue to play your record and play your record and play your record and play your record. And that's what's going to start building momentum, building fan base, getting more fans, which is going to lead to you getting shows and other opportunities. So I don't understand how people just forget about that part. It's crazy.
Okay. I got to say something.
Yes.
I stand corrected because when y'all chop this down, I need to make sure I say something. I stand corrected. I feel like just because we're so much looking at content as king, we're still missing the mark with people giving niggas a mic who don't know what they talking about. So I think that this is something people needed to hear because it's like before you think you can do all these things and skip steps, it's like you can't, like it's so, I don't know, this shit just made me think like full circle, like we don't need to keep reinventing the wheel. Like if this works and it works, then why do people keep trying to change the wheel, thinking that there's going to be shortcuts, or sell themselves, or artists sell themselves hope, thinking that they're going to get somewhere, not understanding that the process is the process, and you can't change the process. You either embrace the process or get out the game. So
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I feel like you know, well, we all know Ray is a very experienced music industry professional. He's a very experienced music industry veteran. He's done a shitload of work in the music industry, but he's on a totally different side. You know, it's just like whenever I started venturing into the business side of music, and I started learning about publishing, and I started learning about copyrights, I started learning about performance rights, I started learning about the different types of royalties and who's going to pay you for those royalties. It was like a foreign language to me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with Ray, because he's been on that side for so long, you know, basically coming over into this side, he doesn't really know all of the inner workings of what happens on this side. Like when you want to talk about songwriting, when you want to talk about publishing, like that man is like top of the food chain. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he definitely is somebody who, you know, that business side, yeah, he's one of the GOATs. But when you start talking about working a record from the ground up, you know, without a label, just having to beat the streets and really, really get it out the mud, like, yeah, I can see how he could probably think that, yeah, you know, there are a lot of DJs or there are a lot of artists who are creating these ecosystems without the DJs, and it's not. I mean, it has been done. It really has been done by a very, very few artists. But for the majority of the artists, when you look at the majority of the artists who are eating, you see what route they took. They took the route with the DJs. When you see the amount of artists that have been eating long term, the DJs. Even if it's not necessarily the DJs per se, it's the radio, which still is the same, you know, basic community. Because you know, you do have a lot of people who have paid the radio and then that trickled down to the DJs versus the other way around where they hit the streets, they hit the clubs, and then that trickled up to the radio. But it's still the same network, the same system.
So and we also talked about the statement that Ebro, you know, the tweet that Ebro put out about like record labels like deprioritizing signing rappers too. What was your thoughts?
Okay, let me talk about that. Please let me address that. Spotify came out with a report maybe 2-3 weeks ago that said 25% of all their streams, Spotify is the biggest streaming platform by far. 25% of all their streams are hip hop. Hip hop. All right. There are over, I would say, 20 to 25 genres and subgenres. Whenever you go to Spotify, if you've ever gone into your DistroKid or gone into your TuneCore or your United Masters and you have to pick a genre of music when you upload your single, there's easily like 20, 25 choices. You know, we're not even talking about the subgenres. But hip hop accounts for 25% of that, a quarter of all streams. A label would be stupid to deprioritize hip hop because we get so much money. When you look at these ads, when you look at these TV commercials, when you go to the movies, when you go to the restaurants, when you go to these sports events, all the music is hip hop. But the thing that I feel like makes them want to deprioritize hip hop is the fact that out of that 25% of those streams that are hip hop, over 85% of those streams are independent artists. It's the fact that you can't get over on us anymore. They're going to go to Africa. They're going to go to these Latin countries, these places where they can get over on these artists, where these artists are literally I know they're not all third world countries, but a lot of these countries are third world countries and they can get the talent for cheap. That's what they used to do in the ghettos. That's what they used to do in the projects. They used to come in, they used to get the talent for cheap, and they used to really, really fuck us over. All right. But they can't really do that anymore. We're learning about the music. We're learning about royalties. We're learning about companies like Song Trust and Sound Exchange and the MLC and ASCAP and BMI. We are really, really out here getting it on our own or with minimal help from these big labels. We're turning down big deals. Every time you see somebody speaking out about how bad labels are, it's hip hop artists. When you see these artists really, really getting their business together, it's hip hop artists. When you see these artists preaching independence, it's mainly the hip hop artists. You know, when you start talking about money and music, hip hop and R&B artists are killing it right now because we've learned how to structure our deals differently. We have enough of our own people telling us what to look out for and what not to look out for. So yeah, they got to go elsewhere to get people that they can fuck over. Like that's how the labels get money. If they can't fuck artists over and they got to pay people fairly, then they're not going to make billions of dollars. It's just not feasible to them. So in order for them to keep up that business model, they got to go outside of the United States to get these artists. Like we are hip to the game, bro. We've even learned how to start lobbying with our politicians to get them to pass all these different laws so that we can start really eating. There's a law on the table now to where they're about to start paying artists who own their masters for performance rights. Remember, before only the songwriters got paid for performance rights. If you actually performed a song, you didn't get that money. So if Carrie Hilson wrote a song for Beyonce, every time that song is played on the radio, Carrie Hilson got paid. Beyonce ain't get paid. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with, records by, The Dream and Sean Garrett and all these writers. Like anytime they wrote for a huge artist and that song was played on the radio, only the songwriter got paid. But now we're lobbying to get that law changed to where people who own the masters can get paid as well. People who perform the record get paid as well. So yeah, we've gotten smart. We've gotten hit to the game. So now they got to go get slaves from another country. I hate to put it that way, but that's basically what it is.
Exploitation.
They know they can get over on the African artists. They know they can get over on the Latin artists. You got the language barriers. You got the lack of just knowing how the music business works in America versus over there. Yeah, man. They go into who they can pimp. Every day.
And the money spent different.
Yeah, every day you see a different rapper saying, don't sign to these labels or read your paperwork, or they giving us game about how they were signed for 7 albums. They put out actually 12 albums, but the record label said 5 of those albums were mixtapes, and they didn't count. But the label is still eating off of those quote unquote mixtapes. I mean, there's just so many different things that our people are hipping us to game on, that these labels know their days are numbered with hip hop. They're going to have to start paying us fairly. They already are paying a lot of us fairly. You know what I'm saying? But they know they're going to have to start paying us fairly. And that's going to ensure that they don't have 7 private jets, 13 cars, a house for every season. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be able to live that lifestyle. So yeah, they're going to go to Africa and they're going to go to these South American countries and they're going to try to pimp them.
Okay. So you've been in the Carolina, man. Before we get you out of here, we appreciate you stopping in. We pressed for time right now. So
definitely.
Tell everybody about yourself before we get you out of here and let them know where they can find you.
Man, y'all can find me on all social media platforms at DJ Chuck T. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, or X, whatever it's called right now. You can find me at DJ Chuck T on everything. And for those of y'all who don't know me, I've been in the music industry roughly about 25 years. I've helped artists like The Baby, Bankroll Fresh, Jeezy and Boys in the Hood, Pliers. We could go all the way to Young Jock, Gorilla Zoe, Flow Rider, Even them boys out there in Texas with Swisher House, Trader Truth, all of them. You know, I played an intricate part in helping all of them sort of go from local to global. And as of recently, I just signed a deal with the NBA. So I have the NBA's first ever music industry night. We do it twice a year here with the Hornets. I have a meeting next week with the Atlanta Hawks. So y'all cross y'all fingers on that. And also with the Orlando Magic. So, you know, just trying to make sure that, you know, we keep hip hop in these spaces where we can stay in the forefront and where we can get the money we deserve and the recognition we deserve, and we can stop getting pimped. I created a music business class roughly about 4 years ago called the Foundation of Music, where I teach artists, DJs, producers, managers, promoters, and label reps the business side of the music. I teach them how to protect their rights, how to monetize everything, how to register their music so they can get paid, how to find the money and follow the money.
Yeah.
And that's
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I'm here. Somebody else? I'm sorry.
No, I was waiting on Filthy.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Filthy.
No, can't hear you.
No.
No.
Can you unmute it? He unmuted.
Maybe muted.
So listen, Chuck.
No, he's not.
Man, we appreciate you, man. Chuck, we appreciate you coming in. Put Chuck back up. Yeah, man, we appreciate you being being a good night, man. So we definitely gonna keep, I definitely want to keep this door open, man, so we can have these type of conversations again. So we definitely want to lock in with you on a regular basis. So next time we have something that come up DJ related or music related, I would love to have you be a part of the show again.
Man, just let me know. You know I owe you one, so whatever you need from me, I got you.
And when you do that one in Atlanta, man, you know I want to be a part of that. So
always wouldn't have it no other way.
All right, brother. Be great, man. All right.
Definitely. Y'all be safe out there.
All right, bro.
Peace.
All right. So on the We Outside. So where we at now, man? What's our next? We moving to the next one. Where we at?
Buddy muted.
Yeah, we can move to the. I don't know. You wasn't on mute, and then you good. We can hear you now. We can hear you now. Yeah. But wanted to pivot to the next question. Actually, he kind of got into it as far as artist development for DJs. You kind of touched on it as far as DJs being the ones that's working with the artists. Again, a lot of the artists that were mentioned earlier have already been developed, have already built the machine, if you will. But again, a lot of the labels of the big word I'm hearing is, again, artist development not there. What do y'all feel like as far as DJ's relevancy in the artist development?
Man, we are the A&Rs now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the few A&Rs that still exist at these record labels that are really developing these artists. But I mean, we see it. New Music Monday is the perfect example, the platform that we have every Monday. Like, artists are coming through. They're hopping on that stage. A lot of them are performing for their first time. A lot of them have never been in front of an audience before. A lot of them just been rapping in their room and making music for their homeboys. You know what I'm saying? So when they come to us, as DJs, we take that responsibility and say, hey, this is how you hold the microphone. This is how you work a stage. This is how you network in a room. You know what I mean? That's artist development. So a lot of these guys, before they even get to the label, it's not a knock on the labels, because if a label's going to put bread behind somebody, they're going to develop that artist. But a lot of these people, before they get to the labels, it's us that are developing these artists. It's us that are helping them pick the single. It's us that are teaching them how to navigate through the space, man. So again, you know what I mean? I think artist development is another thing that DJs don't get credit for. I came up under a DJ when I was an artist. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the biggest artists in the world came up under a DJ.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the development is there as far as what we do as an organization, as far as coalition. Every Monday, we had some of the best artists that came in the room that had records that wasn't working. And we told them, hey, go back and give us a record that's better for the club or better fits this situation or that situation. And it worked. And we've seen the success over the last 14 years just doing New Music Monday. We're doing that platform. You get artists that get in the room that don't know how to hold a mic. They've only probably been performing in clubs where the sound was so bad they had to cuff the mic just to be heard. We actually get them in there and teach them, like, You know, hey, you got too many cats on stage with you. You know, narrow it down. Put the essential people on stage. Don't hold a mic where you cuff it. So we give them pointers and different things like that. That part of the development, and also as far as what is the right music, what works in different spaces. That shit is needed because a lot of times these people are spending money and investing money into records that they homeboy picked, the people around them picked, and a lot of times it works to a degree, but you know, I always say that you don't know what a record is going to do until you put it out there anyway. But a lot of times getting that professional advice or getting somebody that's actually, like, all of us work in the club. So we know automatically what's going to work in the club. Yep. If it's a good record, we automatically know that shit going to fit in the rotation. Now, if it's a hit record, the girls in the club or the people in the club, the crowd is going to let us know that automatically.
There you go. Shilee, as an artist, like, how do you develop yourself? How are you developing? How are you working? Are you working with a DJ? Where do you feel like artist development comes from?
Shit, I feel like my development came from trial and error. Like coming from New Mexico, I came here. I ended up, working with Mace and meeting him. He helped me in the studio, helped me, get better and let me know, okay, this is the bar. You doing this and this and this, but you need to add structure to, being unconventional to be successful in music. So, and then as I, kept going down my path, I started meeting, like I met Big X. I started meeting y'all. So y'all started developing me in different areas. I started seeing different sides of myself because it's like, it's one side where you need studio development when you in the mic, because whatever you put, the record is the dope. That's the shit you selling. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of development. But like I said, I would say mostly with development, we don't have that. Because if you don't have access to certain things, or you have the internet telling you could just do something viral, you know what I'm saying? And then you forget completely that you are an artist, you know what I'm saying? And that you're a performer and that you have to be developed so that people can actually take you seriously and put a bag behind you. I feel like a lot of people want to be independent too because they can't get people to, put money behind them. But it's like if you give them something to believe in, which is the development, I feel like more people will have a better chance at being successful. And like I said, a lot of people don't have a sound. That's why basically all the artists sound the same, because everybody following the format of the internet. They're not following the format of the music business. So that's just my take on it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I definitely think you kind of said it. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel. Yeah.
Coalition been doing New Music Mondays for 15 years now. You know what I mean? They have the track record. DJs around the world have the track record. I mean, going back to where it started in New York. I mean, you think about a lot of the hit records, a lot of those were DJs cooking up and pulling artists like, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z. And the artists, following along, and we have hits now that have lasted the test of time. Yeah. Go ahead, Big X.
People forgot that the DJ created the MC. Without the DJ, there is no MC. We the one who passed him the mic and gave him the mic so he could become a rapper. So without the DJ, how could you just eliminate the DJ from a situation? How? Like
there you go.
Hip hop was built off of Cool Herc and those guys in the Bronx, and now 50 years later, we're gonna say rappers and industry professionals are gonna say the DJ is no longer needed. I think that shit is a cop out to just innovative and creative music.
Yeah, we got to find a way to repair the relationship between the narrative of the DJs and the artists not being on the same page, because it doesn't work that way. We're gonna fail if we don't work together anyway. DJs need artists.
There you go.
Artists need DJs. It's vice versa. I think people forget that being a DJ is being an artist too. Like, we're artists too. It's just like you have a bunch of trash ass artists out there. There's a bunch of trash ass DJs out there too. That just got their hand out all the time, like, yo, pay me, and can't give any results. So I see how an artist can get turned off by that, but there's a balance. I just don't like the broad stroke, like every DJ is like that or every artist is like that. Everyone's different, man.
But you do have to put checks and balances on that shit too, Filthy, because a lot of DJs that are out here asking for money is not worth the money. Like I told DJs that shit Monday. I said, if you're gonna ask for money, you got to be worth the money. You get what I'm saying? So if you ask for $300 and $400 to do this or $500, are you worth it? You got to ask yourself that. Okay, if I wanted this service, nigga, would I pay for it? If I was an artist right now, the service that I'm nigga, would I use the same service that I'm trying to sell somebody?
Thanks. That's it.
There you go.
Simple as that.
There you go. So with that, man, we're gonna wrap up. Just about 5 minutes left in this thing. Before we get out of here, though, do want to let the people know again, you can catch us if you're in Columbus, Georgia. You can catch us on Foxy 105 on Saturday evenings. If you're in Lincoln, Nebraska, you can catch us out there on Saturday and Sunday. Also, we will be airing tonight on Streets TV on their podcast channel. So shout out to Streets for rocking with us again. Look out for episodes, and as always, you can check us out on YouTube. But with that, Big X, Shilee, Smoke, or Filthy, let the people know where they can find you.
Hey man, I'm always outside. But listen, you can find me at DJ Big X ATL on Instagram. You can also follow me in the group at Coalition DJs ATL. You can follow us at the We Outside Show ATL, and you can also follow my new platform at Soundcheck Atlanta. Make sure you check for that. We got a show coming up September 30th. It's gonna be crazy. So if you want to find me, I'm gonna be outside. And also Thursday and Friday nights, I'm at Peaches. I'm back in the club. All right.
All right. Filthy.
That's funny to hear. All right, man. Look, at DJ_Filthy Rich on Instagram, DJ Filthy Rich Ayo on X, aka Twitter, and go and follow me, man. My tour schedule is crazy, man. I'm outside with the 85 South Show. We on tour right now. I'm also on tour with Poor Minds right now. I'm also on Club Wax every Thursday and Friday. I'm on the We Outside Show, man. I'm everywhere, bro. Just look me up, man. We working though. Just know we.
There you go, Shilee.
All right, yeah, you said my name right. Period.
Hey, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, you can find me on all platforms. Shilee the Great. So yeah, just tap in with me.
There you go. And I am Buddi3 Da Gawd, again, producer of the We Outside Show. Also catch me on First Guy Omaha in the morning if you're in the Nebraska area, or if you just want to learn a little bit about Omaha, Nebraska. Shout out to Bud Crawford, the champ is here. But yeah, man, before we get out of here, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next time.
Peace.
Yeah.